Oh, I didn't see you come in. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's camodave. It is the 20th of January, 2021. It is Inauguration Day. Man, does this seem like the longest presidential campaign in human history here for the good old US of A? I'm telling you, man, it just, I don't know. Here in North Carolina, this is and was, I guess, a swing state, which Trump won by a point, 1.4 points or something like that. We were bombarded in this state since June or so with constant political ads on the telly and all over the media. And that, June, July, August, September, October, and then even into November. That's like half a year's worth of, literally 60, 70, sometimes almost all of the ads were just, from Trump, from Biden, from all these different PACs, from everything. It was just wild. And then, of course, you had the election, and then you had everything that happened after the election, and then you had the events that have happened so far in January, which we will not get into. This is not a political channel, but I was just thinking, what would be an interesting video for Inauguration Day, the morning of Inauguration Day here on the camodave channel? And this is a Nomad channel. We cover Nomads. That's what I like to watch. I especially like to watch people that, are solo. That they're solo nomads. And they're also people that pretty much live full-time on the road, okay? They're not just, occasionally going out for a trip. I like the people. They may have home bases. I'm not saying that they all, some people live with their relatives. Some people have an apartment somewhere. Some people may have a prepper shack. They may have a legal residence at a trailer park somewhere or a campground or something. In some states you can do that. South Dakota is an easy state to get a residence in. You have to, I think, spend a night or two at a park, a trailer park, and then register your name, your address with them, and you can get You can become a resident, a permanent resident of that state. You get South Dakota plates, and the taxes there are very low, and there's like no inspections or anything for your vehicles. So we do see that. So the question that I would say, what I was thinking about doing today is saying, Mel, if I was president, or if you were president, how would the president address nomadism? Okay, if you watch this movie Nomadland, if you read it in the media, more and more people are becoming nomadic for whatever reason. Maybe it's economic reasons, maybe it's the high cost of living in cities and stuff, maybe there's just a desire to get out on the road and not be permanently linked to one place. There isn't a really good mechanism in this country for how do you register, where do you live? Where you technically, most countries, including this one, you have to have some place you declare your residence for tax purposes and for mailing purposes and for all that other stuff. There has to be, you can't just say, I'm not a resident of any state, I'm not going to pay any state taxes, whatever, and just become a free soul. You can't do that. So if we have new President Biden today, if he had a Department of Nomadism or a nomad, the Secretary of Nomadism on his cabinet, or there was some, or within some place in the federal government there was somehow a group that was concerned about nomadism and promoting it or helping people get along with it, So I know I'm getting all over the place with this. So the question is, if I was president, if I was being inaugurated president today, or if I was watching Mr. Biden get inaugurated, what would I tell Mr. Biden, or what would I do to help nomads in the future in America? Okay, people that are not living So should we have a state of nomadism? Literally, we have 50 states right now. Should there be technically a cyber state called the nomad state, where, you can declare your residence of any of the 50 states and you have to prove that you have some sort of a place to stay or property or whatever. But what about having a cyber state of nomadism, where if you just say, I don't want to declare a residence in any of the 50 states, so technically I'm going to become a permanent nomad, and you would actually get license plates that would say nomad on it, maybe Bob Wells' picture, a nice bearded Santa Clausy looking guy, and then you could have your license plate there, and maybe some beautiful natural wonder in the background, like the Grand Canyon, or the sunset over Quartzsite. How about this for the nomadism plate? A picture of Bob in the corner, and then a beautiful sunset at Quartzsite. I don't know. Maybe we could make Quartzsite the capital of the nomad state, Quartzsite, Arizona. Technically, they have to be a place where you go and pay your taxes. Maybe they could, I don't know. Maybe the governor of Arizona could make a little area there of the southwest part of the state as a nomad zone, and you could maybe you get your residence through Arizona, but you would be in the nomad zone, and there would be special taxes and stuff, whatever. I don't know. Or at least have some way in the United States of America where you could become a nomad and not have to pretend you're a resident of a certain state. You know what I'm saying? Just say, look, and then there would be some way of taxing you because, you're using the highways and the byways and whatever. One of the reasons people like to go to South Dakota to get their residence because the taxes are low. But you do pay some taxes in South Dakota. We're not going to say nomads don't pay taxes. You're using the roads, you're using facilities. When you get sick, you call 911 and they come and take care of you wherever you are. So it's only fair that people who are nomads should have to chip in a little bit to pay taxes. But if you're not living in a state, if you're only spending a couple days in South Dakota, isn't it kind of crazy why you're paying South Dakota taxes, or any other state for that matter? If you have your residence in Pennsylvania, you're living with a friend in Pennsylvania, using the friend's residence, and and you're never there, you're only there maybe a couple weeks a year, why should you be paying taxes to the state of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania? So it's the same kind of thing. So if I was president, or if I'm recommending to Mr. Biden what to do, how about creating some sort of a federal cyber state of nomadism, and then let people, if they opt into that, don't become a resident of any state. Just say, I do not permanently live in any of the 50 states. I am a permanent nomad. I live on the road, say, as long as you're on the road, say, more than 75 or 90% of the time, you can be eligible to become a resident of the cyber nomad state. Now, we wouldn't really make it a real state because it doesn't really have any land. Although, as I said in my little preamble there, you could maybe make it part of Arizona around Quartzsite. The capital of nomadism is Quartzsite. I don't know, or make an office. I don't know. But whatever. Or you could have several little places around the country where people that are nomads could actually go and physically, deal with things, that we have to deal with, like, getting your driver's license, getting your passport, stuff like that. You all have to have a residence. You can't just say, I want a driver's license, but I don't have I have no residence. It has to be one of 50 states. But there would have to be a state of nomadism to give you a driver's license. So there would have to be some sort of physical facilities somewhere where you can go and take your driver's test and pay your taxes and whatever. There would have to be some sort of bureaucracy set up. But I think a state of nomadism like that, or something like that, would be kind of neat, and probably something that is, something that would be required now. in our new, way of living. Now, I don't know. Are there enough people that are nomads that would actually make that a thing? I think more and more people, I think Bob is right, Cheap RV Living Bob is right, that more and more people are going to become nomads in the future. And I think that the government's going to have to deal with that. And, I don't know. I would think, so here we are on Inauguration Day for 2021. And I think, I believe that we should have a cyber state of nomadism where people who are not technically living in any of the 50 states that are on the road 75 to 90% or more of the time should be able to do their business, pay their taxes, get their license plates, and deal with having a person, and they should be some sort of a way to get your mail through a cyber connection with your state of nomadism. Nomad license plates. I don't know. I think that's not a bad idea. That should be a way that Americans and maybe Canadians should look into this too, where you can live full-time on the road and not have to pretend or jump through the hoops to be a resident of one of the 50 states. That there should be a way to do that through the federal government. I don't know. I think that's not a bad idea. And if I was president, I would do that, or at least try to get it through Congress, which is probably going to be tough. Because, the states that are and then there's got to be a way to prevent people from just normal people that are, like you're abnormal, if you're living on the road, you're abnormal. No, regular people that are living in private houses and stuff, they just don't want to pay the local taxes, so they could register to be nomads too, and they could pretend to live in their cars. We don't want to have people abusing it by just tax avoiders saying, I'm a nomad, I'm living with my friend here in his basement in Kansas, and I don't want to pay Kansas taxes or New York taxes, so I'm just going to say I'm a nomad, and I'll just tell you I'm living on the road full time. How do we enforce that? How do we make people so that they're not pretending they're nomads, you're just saying they're nomads? I don't know. It's an interesting question, but it's worth a little bit of thought, don't you think? I'd like to ask you now, if you were being inaugurated as president today of the United States of America, and just keep it to nomadism, don't go the whole shebang about everything else, but what would you do in terms of nomad living in the United States of America? If Cheap RV Living Bob were made the Secretary of Nomadism under President Trump, or maybe Carolyn's RV Life could be Secretary of Nomadism under President Trump. What would you do? Let me know in the comments below. Very interesting. Pandemonium. I believe she saw the movie, that Nomadland movie with what's her name in it? Oh, I can never remember her name. Does McDormand? Yeah, I don't know, man. That sounds like a good movie. I haven't seen it yet. I would like to see it. I believe Panda saw that, and she said it was kind of a downer movie. It did. It's this woman's kind of at the end of her rope and is, trying to survive being a nomad. And Panda was right, or Aja was right, and she said that there's a lot of people that have good times on the road. It's not a downer last chance. It's not a last chance kind of way of living. It's a choice that people are making just simply because they don't want to live in a sticks and bricks house, and they want to live on the road. And there's, again, as Cheap RV Living Bob has said, there's two aspects to being a nomad. One are the forced nomads that literally they want to live in an apartment but they can't afford it. For whatever financial reasons, they just can't afford that lifestyle, and so they get into a used beat up van or something and just take off. Or they're getting away from something that they maybe owe child support or something. And then there's other people that just literally want to do it for the positive aspects of living on the road, that they just don't want to be stuck in one place all the time, and they want to be out on the road and see the beautiful country. And that's their choice to do that. They're not being forced into it. And I think I think Aja was right in talking about how there's kind of a duplicity there. Anyway, I don't want to sound too bureaucratic here, but anyway, so if you were president here on this inauguration day 2021, what would you do to help the nomads out there get along better? Are there other things, maybe with the BLM or the Park Service or something, that you would pass rules about camping and other things like that that make things easier for nomads to get along and dealing with life here in this good old country, even when there are many, 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 many more nomads, as pretty much everybody is predicting for the future? I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this little rant. I got the blue lights up here because, what do they say? The red are the Republicans and the blue are the Democrats, and now we've got a change of party coming here in the United States of America. And what do you think that's going to mean for nomads? How do you think Mr. Biden will be different to nomadism than Mr. Trump will be? Do you think there are going to be more people wanting to be nomads now that we have a new president? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Hey, thank you for watching. It is the inauguration day, 2021, and we'll see what happens, huh? Okay. All right, folks, you take care. I'll see you around. Yeah, whatever. Vlog under.